And welcome back to the Hot Lap, where we are looking at the Brawn Grand Prix documentary. Yes, one of the biggest underdog stories, I think, in Formula One ever. Let's have a quick look at that trailer, shall we?
As long as I can remember,
John Wick. No. John Wick. No. Keanu Reeves.
And I'm going to share a story that barely seems believable.
That was the Australian Grand Prix, where, funnily enough, it was a 1-2, I think, for Brawn initially, and Jenson Button ended up winning it, but Rubens Barrichello really struggled. He had such a bad start, and he had to come through the field. Button winning it. Amazing. Who would have thought? It was because of the blown diffuser in the end, wasn't it, at the back? But who would have thought that the old Honda team, I imagine Honda were absolutely kicking themselves. They built an amazing car. Thanks to Mercedes, they helped rescue that team. A bit on that later. But
how do you feel? It's really amazing.
Only one team in their debut race in the history of the sport have been able to get pole position.
There's Jenson and Barrichello. Barrichello also running Jenson quite near, I think Jenson won it the Brazilian Grand Prix, which wasn't the last race of the season, but he still had to have an amazing Grand Prix because Barrichello ended up pushing him all the way and pushing him a lot more than I think a lot of people would have initially given him credit for.
This is the story of Brawn GP. Why do people say that you were the £1 Formula One team?
I mean, the team bought for £1. Bought for £1 because Honda viewed it as a big loss because of the I think the 2008 crash, wasn't it?
I gave £1 to the Honda executive, allow us to buy the team to keep the team alive.
This is the only option we've got on the table. It's this or the team gets shut down.
Can you do this? Yes.
Best way to become unpopular very quickly is to start.
I mean, he's right. This was also the year which I think a lot of people may have forgotten, unless you're a Red Bull fan, that the Red Bull came good as well. It was, you can make an argument for it was the second best car. And one of the reasons why McLaren and Ferrari were not all that strong in this race, because the 2008 season, they were developing right until the end. Yes, this was before the budget cap, but still, they were developing so much. Their 09 cars really struggled, I think, to get off the blocks fast, so to speak, as a result. And that's one of the other reasons why Brawn and Honda initially spent so much investing in the 2009 season, because it was a brand new regulations, all these go faster bits. If you compare to like Hamilton's title winning 2008 car and Brawn's 09 car, the Brawn and a lot of other cars in 2009 looked very clean. There were none of these weird aerodynamic protrusions, so to speak, go faster bits or anything like that.
We're a team that's come from nowhere. No one expected us to be here.
They went too far. There was something against the rules. This was the start of the war.
This team that everybody just wanted to survive is killing us.
I'm going to win the championship.
The knives were out and they were after us.
You either push the limit.
I mean, it's interesting that they're showing a few shots from, I think, Belgium and the Singapore Grand Prix, where kind of like the second half of the season really was kind of like more about Red Bull and the other teams, because Brawn didn't develop really towards the end of the season. Jenson Button had an awful Belgian Grand Prix, going off on the first lap after the big straight after Rouge. And they really struggled in the latter half of the year. But because they built such a big gap in the championship, essentially that's why they won it.
Or you're nothing. We pushed the limit.
People believe in him because he looks innocent.
Yet really behind the scenes, smiling assassin.
I think you're all smiling assassins.
It was a really scary time.
This is about survival.
Formula One, once it gets into your blood, it'll never let go.
Do you feel like Ross Brawn was the luckiest guy in the world, or do you think he was really clever?
It's interesting that they've got Bernie Ecclestone here as well, who obviously Keanu's asking him that question if they got lucky. I don't think they did at all. I guess they were lucky in terms of the other teams kind of struggled compared to Brawn, but I really do not think that they got lucky in in the sense that they just lucked into it. I don't think you can do that for a whole season of Formula One. Yes, maybe you can get lucky for the odd race win, but not to win a championship. No way. I mean, so that's it. And what are your memories of the Brawn race? I mean, I would absolutely love to know. My memories were getting up in Australia, watching obviously pre-season testing, and Brawn had this big thing. Everyone thought, oh, how good are they going to be? Are they going to be good? Are they going to be fast, etc.? What is going to happen? And well, in the end, they did let's be fair, they did absolutely amazing, and they were unbeatable in terms of they had that one season, and they've never ever been beaten. I mean, let's have a quick look here under the Las Vegas lights. Bear with me. The Brawn Grand Prix facts, shall we? I mean, here we go. They've entered 17 races. They've won one Constructors' Championship in their 1 year they were here. One Drivers' Championship. 8 victories. 15 podiums. 172 points. 5 pole positions. And 4 fastest laps. And they were unbeaten because that was their 1 year. So in terms of constructors and drivers, they've never been beaten. Yeah, I know. Bit of a silly fact. But yeah, I mean, there we go. But Autosport have got an interesting. So Brawn documentary brings nuance to one of F1's best underdog tales. Brawn's Formula One fairy tale story is well known, following Honda's sale of its team to Ross Brawn for £1, and it went on to win both the drivers and constructors world titles in 2009. Disney and Keanu Reeves do it justice in their new 4-part documentary. It's entitled The Impossible Formula One for F1 story. And if you were to describe the film, it says, as a film genre, action, thriller and sadly tragedy would be among the first 3 options that come to mind. But for the 09 campaign, fairy tale is the only word that fits the bill. Oh yeah, I completely agree. And as we know, in the winter of 2008, the Honda team were seemingly dead and buried. But 12 months later, following a rule change that shook up the competitive order and a rescue package of the Brackley squad, known today as Mercedes, led by Ross Brawn and Nick Fry, had delivered the World Championship for Jenson Button and added the Constructors' title for good measure. Remarkably, your story manages to do justice. And since launching in 2019, covering the previous year's campaign, Drive to Survive has been widely credited as being a large factor, as we all know, in the increased levels. We've got and influence acting as the host, The Matrix, right, and John Wick. Let's not forget John Wick. Keanu Reeves interviewed a wide range of relevant personalities. Among them, those you'd expect, such as Ross Brawn, Button, Nick Fry as the CEO, but there are many others you may not expect to, with the informative and engaging former Brawn GP legal director Carolyn McGorry a particular highlight. I mean, this is brilliant, isn't it? And it's out. I mean, we're recording this on the 14th of November 2023, and the Brawn Grand Prix is out tomorrow. I've not seen it. I can't wait to see it. There will be a review here at the Hot Lap of it as well. I'll be watching it over the weekend, as well as all the Las Vegas Grand Prix stuff. So stay tuned with the Hot Lap. Like, subscribe, comment once you've seen it. Let me know what you think as well. I'll read some of them out if they're there. And thank you very much. Speak to you next time.